locked in for is the NFC Championship. This is the rubber match, okay? They split 1-1 in the regular season. We have the Rams 14-5 versus the Seahawks 15-3. Last time they played, the Rams really should have won, but you had the Zach Words pass, which was the most ridiculous two-point conversion of all time. It was a fumble recovery that technically was a two-point conversion. Go back and look at our video on that because that was absolute bullshit. You have Puka Nacua also tweeted some shade after week 11, then deleted it. He got fined $25K for it. And you have pretty much the perennial MVP favorite, which is Matthew Stafford, going against the underdog that no one will ever appreciate, the Sam Darnold experience. So this one's going to be a great battle. It's up in Seattle, so it's going to be outdoors. We love to see that two games being played outdoors when it really matters. And we'll see if the 12th man can make an impact on Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford's teeth have become whiter and whiter each week, so that'll be interesting to see how white they become this week. But you have Stafford, first-team All-Pro. You have Jackson Smith and Jigba. He led the NFL with 1,793 receiving yards, which is a ridiculous amount of yards. Not getting enough talk on that. You have Cooper Kupp, which is an interesting storyline here. The Rams were kind of like, yeah, we have this Puka guy. We don't really need you anymore. That's a damn shame because Cooper Kupp is one of the most clutch players. I wouldn't be surprised if I see him having some clutch plays out there. And then you have Ernest Jones IV. This was Seahawks linebacker re-signed after leaving the Rams. So you have a lot of people on the Seahawks team that wants a little bit of revenge. What are your thoughts on this game? Who's going to win? What's the score going to be? Let's just get into it.
Yeah. I just want to say this matchup is awesome. Like, I think all year long people kind of looked at the NFC West and they felt like the best teams are in that division. I think these are the two best teams. So getting them to clash in the NFC Championship, it's perfect. And last episode, it got a little whiny at times. It was like, no, nothing's exciting. I don't like the playoff show. It's like, I don't know what you people wanted to see out of the NFC. I feel like this is the best possible matchup. I guess no one cares about the Seahawks, but I think this is going to be an absolute classic. I'm giving the edge to the home team, the Seattle Seahawks. I think what they did during the regular season is legitimate. The fact that they came out on top of this brutal division, going head-to-head with the Niners and Rams, who were killing it all year long, I think it means a lot. They're absolutely loaded. I mean, they barely needed Sam Darnold to do anything last week, and they ran the Niners out of the building. I like the Seahawks to get the win. I say they win on a field goal, okay? Give me 30-27.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt if this game comes down to the wire. I think you're spot on there. I mean, you have two clearly evenly matched teams. They obviously split the regular season 1-1, both games very close. But the NFL and the fans need to stop sleeping on Sam Darnold. This guy is for real, okay? He is winning with getting rid of their best receiver from last year. He turned Jackson Smith and Jigba into a world-renowned superstar wide receiver, just like he did last year with Justin Jefferson. Sam Darnold is a wide receiver's best friend. This entire organization is completely undervalued. If I'm a fan in Seattle, I am pissed. I'm going into this weekend pissed off that no one believes in us because they have shown week after week after week that they're the best team in the NFL, and no one will admit it. I mean, I heard last week all this 49ers talk like they were going to do it. I heard all this, the Rams are the best team in the league. None of these commentators out there, Ryan Clark, Dan Orlovsky, Pat McAfee, the Barstool, no one is talking about Seattle, and that is ridiculous. Give them their flowers. Seattle is here, and they're here to stay. They're going to go ahead and just sneak in a Super Bowl this year that rivals the teams that they had with Russell Wilson. I am so excited for Seattle to get another championship and to watch Sam Darnold hold up that Lombardi trophy underneath the confetti and all the emotions that he must have having to go through that shitty program in New York that he had to deal with the Jets and the Johnson family. I am so happy for Sam Darnold and the Seahawks and Seattle to get their win. They are going to push it down the Rams' throat this week. It will be close because the Rams are good too, but I have an absolute barn burner, 38-35. I have the Seahawks winning on a game-winning field goal in the fourth quarter. It's not going to go to overtime. It's going to go right down the middle. The Seahawks fans are going to go crazy. Seattle, fly, fly, fly.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely crazy. And wouldn't that be nuts? Sam Darnold, the first quarterback from the 2018 draft class to reach a Super Bowl. I don't think many people predicted that. One thing I've been saying for a while, the Rams are super potent. They look dangerous. I think they have the best offense in the league, but they've been playing with fire. Like, a lot of their games down the stretch, the regular season, they lost some games they shouldn't have. And even in the postseason, it's like you just want to survive each week. But, I mean, they nearly got bounced by the Carolina Panthers in the first round. I mean, they needed overtime and, you know, a Caleb Williams gift wrap pick to get past the Chicago Bears. It's like the Seahawks are on another level than those two teams.
100%.
So, and the Seahawks, on the other hand, I mean, it's been belt to ass. They have been kicking the shit out of teams. And, I mean, you don't think the Seattle Seahawks, listening to all this noise, that after all they've done, you know, I thought winning that division should have been enough. It's like people still think that 17 games in, even though they all played each other and relatively played the same schedule, that, no, it's a fluke. Rams the better team. I mean, if I'm Mike McDonald, I'm getting the boys fired up with bulletin board material.
There's so much locker room material here. Another great stat, right? So the Rams have the number one scoring offense at 30.5 points per game. You have the Seahawks on the number one scoring defense at 17.2 points per game. When this happens, this is a historic stat. When the league's top scoring defense faces the passing yards leader in the playoffs, the defense is 6-0 all time.
Wow.
So I think you gotta hammer Seattle on this one. A good defense always beats a good offense when you play in these championship games. Think about the Ravens of times past. You think about the Seattle defense, the Legion of Boom they had in the past. This is going to be a classic example of that defense wins championships. You're going to see that stat be 7-0 after this game. The Seahawks defense is legit, and they have plenty of offensive firepower to back it up as well. So I think it's going to be a great game, but Seahawks just take it. They send it right up the Rams' butt.
Yeah, it's interesting, that stat about the passing yard leaders falling to the number one defense, because I think we all know for a long time there's been a thing where the MVP award winner almost never wins the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes did it a few years ago, but other than that, it had been about 20 years. There's also a similar stat where the passing yard leader never seems to get to or win the Super Bowl. And I think those two are related. I think when you're too quarterback-centric, it's like in basketball, a team that's so reliant on making three-pointers. It's like, that's not who I'm going to pick come playoff time. And when you're so reliant on the quarterback just doing it all, you're going up against good defenses in the playoffs. It's like, that can be your undoing. So the Rams offense has been electric. Matt Stafford has been incredible. He's had a great year. I think he's a worthy MVP winner. But there have been times when the offense has kind of gone stagnant in these playoffs or down the stretch against these good defenses. And I like the more rounded Seahawks team, that they can run the ball. They don't need Darnold to do all that much. And, I mean, they just got a smothering defense.
I agree. And you think about a guy like Matthew Stafford, right? If you're being too reliant on the quarterback's success, you can game plan against a quarterback that's non-mobile like Matthew Stafford. He needs to be able to be comfortable in that pocket, not be outside, not be making throws on the run, and he needs to just get the ball out quick. So if they can disguise some blitzes, if they can kind of drop some defensive tackles or defensive ends into coverage without him knowing, you can really disrupt a quarterback that's not mobile. And so I think, you know, if you were to say like, hey, this is a QB-reliant team, but it's Josh Allen, that's a different story, because you could draw up the perfect defense, you could have the perfect coverage, but he can escape the pocket and then everything collapses. Matthew Stafford's not going to be that guy. So watch Seattle have a really, really good defensive game plan. And I think, to your point, they're too heavily reliant on Puka Nacua and Matthew Stafford. You take those two guys out, what are the Rams really?
Yeah, it's crazy. But it's sometimes you'll hear people say, like, oh, the conference championship, this was the Super Bowl. I mean, look, I think the Super Bowl is going to be a great game regardless, but, I mean, this might just be one of those. I look back at that, think about the classic 49ers Seahawks NFC Championship years ago, where Richard Sherman, he's screaming in Aaron Andrews' face about Michael Crabtree being a sorry receiver. It might just be like one of those, where it's just a clash in Seattle, and it might have Super Bowl vibes to it.
I agree. Well, it's going to be a great weekend. I mean, I'm going to be tuned in. We'll see where we're going to be watching the game this Sunday, but it's going to be a lot of fun.